Hey everybody, what's up? My name is Kijana, and today I would like to share with you my ayahuasca journey, my first ayahuasca journey. Before I get started, I'm going to quickly tell you a little bit about my background and what kind of prompted me to go and do ayahuasca, and tell you about what actually happened when I was there and what happened when I returned home. So I wanted to do ayahuasca because I have been on a personal journey of healing for several years now, and know that I'm not one who ever indulges in herbs, the kind you smoke, or any drugs for recreational use or things like that. I really believe in being in control of my faculties. So this was definitely an adventure for me. It was something that I decided to do after watching a video about DMT some years ago, and because I am a spiritual seeker, because I do want to know more, because I am curious, I decided to do research, and I learned about ayahuasca. This was about a good 3 years ago or so. Now, last year, I decided to follow spirit, and instead of going against the flow of life, trying to push my way through and make things happen that I wanted to happen, I decided to stop. Just stop pushing, stop being disappointed in self, stop thinking that I was not doing something right as far as my life moving ahead the way it's supposed to. And it caused me to relax, which was a good thing. And in this relaxation, and through all the work that I have been doing for the past several years on working on healing myself, which is very important, I started to get some insights about me, about my life. Things started to become clear, but most important, one thing that I realized was that I had a tremendous amount of pain and hurt and sadness locked in my body that I did not know how to deal with, and I wanted more than anything to understand forgiveness and how it works, because we go through life saying, I forgive you, because maybe it's the right thing to do, or because we sincerely really want to be able to forgive someone, but it turns out that we still carry some pain. Okay, so first and foremost, I needed to learn to forgive myself. Then there was a whole bunch of just things that happened, childhood traumas or whatever else. And I wanted to heal that. And that was my goal. So I started looking into going to Peru last year. And it just so happened that I came across this young man who had went to Arizona. I was like, Arizona? Who's doing ayahuasca in the United States? So I contacted him. I'm so sorry I don't know his video offhand, but I contacted him and he referred me to the group that was doing ayahuasca in the United States. And I was super excited, and I contacted my aunt and we wound up going together. Now, what you should know is this. You will see a lot of videos And when I watched his video, he talked about all the beautiful colors, geometric shapes and grids and beautiful, I mean, just all these beautiful visions and everything that he had. And because I was a meditator at a young age, I used to see that stuff. I used to see it all the time. It was like a light show, a color show when I closed my eyes. And it would happen even just before I went to sleep too. So I was like, how cool is that? You know? So I wanted to reconnect to that because that was something I had not experienced in years. So I got even more excited. I was like, man, maybe I'll get the connection. Then because some people had passed over in my life, I asked them to meet me there, being my mother, my father, my uncle. I asked that my spirit guide meet me there because, you know, I know that we have guides, but I was like, you know, how do we get in touch with this person or being? You know, how does this work? And, you know, I was just really open to the experience. So, traveled to Arizona. Long ride, but I was hyped. Got there the day of, a few hours before ceremony, dead dog tired, but I was hyped. I could not sleep. Couldn't rest. So the ceremony actually starts in the evening around 10 o'clock when we actually partake in the medicine. And it is called medicine for a reason. It's very much medicine because it is definitely a great healer. Now, mind you, when the ceremony happened, I guess I had read so much about how you don't want to have expectations, but you do want to set an intention of what you want to happen during your experience, your journey. And I set an intention, but I was hoping to see all the beautiful things that this young man had said he'd seen. What stood out to me that night was the fact that the facilitator, one of the facilitators said, surrender. Surrender yourself to Mother Ayahuasca, and she'll give you exactly what you need. I surrendered. Mind you, I had not taken anything like ayahuasca before in my life. So this was very new to me. The tea, dude, it was so nasty. You had to be on a mission to drink this tea. And I was on a mission. Drank the tea. Tried to lay down. Everybody around me was like laying down. There was a lot of us in this big open space. And I'm like, how could they lay down? Like, you know, aren't they hyped? Don't they want to see what was going to happen? But they must have knew something that I didn't know. You know, I didn't know that it took 45 minutes to kick in or so. So I'm like straight on edge. I was sitting up, looking around, waiting for something to happen. About an hour passed. Mind you that I felt this heat in my body, and then I felt this energy go whoom, straight into my solar plexus, like it was a big ball of energy and somebody just threw it into my solar plexus. I got fidgety. and I was moving around and everything. And the facilitator, wonderful, beautiful person, she sang songs called Ikaros, which are songs that bring in energy, spirit energy, and it's like a song welcoming Mother Ayahuasca to the ceremony. And they're songs for healing, to help the people purge. She also used different instruments like drums. She had, oh my God, I don't want to call it the wrong thing. They're these little leaves that they shake while they're singing the Ikaros. And she had a drum that it was filled with little balls or pebbles or something, but when she moved it, it sounded like the ocean. Now, she rang a singing bowl for us to come and get a second dose. I took the second dose. I don't think I needed the second dose. If I would have waited a few more minutes, I would have been cool on the first dose. And I probably skipping around and messing some things up because it's been a while since I've been. But I'm gonna back up a little bit. She was playing this drum. Mind you, I love drums. But for some reason, when she hit this drum this time, it was just disturbing my soul. Like, it was irritating me so bad that I wanted to take the drum and just throw it at her and just run away or something, or take the drum and just run out of the dome and just destroy it, because it was like, it made me fidgety. And then off in the distance you could hear these dogs howling, because we were out in the desert. And I was like just like paranoid, like fidgety, just real fidgety. I had never been like that before in my life. So I go up and get the second dose, and I decide to go out to leave out of the dome, because she was just like this, the instrument she was playing, then she was saying, it was like getting under my skin, and I was like, I gotta get out of here. Now mind you, it's okay to go through this, because what's happening is the energy is working in your body and is shaking loose stored energy, stored traumas, whatever is going on is shaking things loose, and it's the tea is working on you. Okay, so dude, I was like, I'm gonna go walk. It was a full moon too. I went out and I walked around a little bit, and I really wanted to just straight run off in the desert, but I was like, I can't do that. Okay, so I'm gonna walk over here, look at the moonlight. So the moon was absolutely beautiful. It was like it was a spotlight on everybody on this particular place in the desert. It was amazing, just beautiful blue light, just amazing. So I walked back and I sat down, and somebody came and checked on me. One of the facilitators, super cool dude. And after that, you know, I started just, you know, I felt these tears just welling up inside of me, and I was like, just really trying to figure out what the devil is going on, you know, why am I feeling this way? And it was like, and I started to think about my mom, and I felt just sadness, a deep pain. And the way I related it was that maybe I have not grieved all the way. Then the facilitator walks out of the tent, the female, and she walks to the bathroom, and I looked at her and I was like, there you go, leaving me. You always leaving me. And she came out of the bathroom, goes back to the dome, and I said, you're leaving me again. and she started to sing, and it was like she was singing a song specifically for me. It was like my mother was singing to me. And before I knew it, I had, the best way to describe it is a monsoon of emotion rise up through my body uncontrollably, because I was doing the silent cry for a long time, mind you. Came up through my body, and before I knew it, I was screaming, hollering, crying to the top of my lungs, wailing. I had felt such a deep loss. Now, one of the facilitators tried to console me, and he wanted to pray, and I was oblivious to everything. By this time, I had kind of gotten up from the chair I was sitting in, was walking towards the desert, and I fell to the ground. I couldn't even stand up. This is how much this energy surged through my body. It was like it's coming up and out. Hey, you either gonna let it out or you're just, I don't know, because I couldn't implode, but it was huge. So there I was, head in the dirt, crying, didn't care, face all in the sand, just crying my heart out. And the lady facilitator comes over and kneels in front of me. And she asks me, no, she was telling me, she said, it's okay, Kijana, it's okay. And she was my mother to me. That's who I saw her as. So I had a conversation with my mom, and I was like, why did you leave me here? You left me here to deal with these people by myself, And she was like, I'm sorry, This, I'm just gonna not detail the whole conversation, but I'm going to tell you what the insight was of it, and to get you to understand how deep this medicine is. What I learned was that my mother and I were spirit friends. We were like really super cool friends in the spirit world before we came here. And we decided that we would journey this lifetime together. We would do it together. She decided to leave the earth before it was her time. And so I felt that she had abandoned me. She left me. She didn't keep her pact with me. She didn't keep our agreement, that she would pass whenever this time was that she was supposed to go. So I was hurting, but the hurt was so deep. It was on a soul level. It was on a spirit level, so deep that it was incomprehensible for my daily consciousness to even digest. It was that deep, because mind you, when my mom died, eventually I cried and cried and cried, and I did my conversations with her and wrote her letters or whatever it is that I did over years. Mind you, she's been gone since 2009. I did my work. I did my work, and I thought I was okay. But come to find out, my soul was yearning for my friend that I missed, that I felt abandoned me. So after this happened, because I was gone, I was like straight just gone. I was so far out in the universe dealing with this, that the facilitator, she told me she wanted me to ground my energy. So she told me put my hands in the earth. I had my right hand palm to the earth, and my left hand was just rubbing the gravel. Because of the way my body, I was leaning to the side, the way I was situated, I couldn't really put both palms to earth. She put her palm on top of me, and I felt her energy shoot through my hand like a hot beam, like a hot, it was so freaking hot. It was like red hot, and you like, I could see the red hot energy shooting through her hand, through my hand, down into the earth to ground my energy. And I would turn my hand over, like the palm of my hand, like, dude, is this real? Am I really feeling this hot? It was so freaking hot. It was like, like take a blow dryer, turn it on high, and put it up to your hand, hot. Okay, super hot. Yeah, it burns after a while, but it was really hot. So we grounded the energy. We wound up coming back to earth, you know, and talking and chatting it out. Okay, so that happened. Then the next thing that happened was next thing that happened, I threw up. Now, ayahuasca is not a toy, is not to be played with, and is definitely not something you're gonna want to do, because I promise you it's coming up or out. It's going through the mouth or through the tutor. One way or the other, it's gonna get you. So I threw up so good, just threw up, and I needed to throw up because my chest was congested, and it was something that I have been dealing with over the years. And mind you, congestion in the chest, lung problems, is because of a deep sadness. That's why people who have difficulty breathing or difficulty releasing mucus, have bronchitis, they're probably sad on some level, like deeply sad. Okay, so anyway, man, got that out. Went and laid down. So I'm still like straight in it, mind you. I'm dozing off to sleep, and I thought I was going to sleep. I wasn't asleep. I was in a twilight, and I was talking to some spirits, and I caught myself, and I was like, because I was having like I'm talking right now, I was having like a straight full-blown conversation, like talking out loud. Everybody could probably hear me, I'm sure. And then I'm like, you know, just running my mouth. Then I realized who I was talking to. I saw my mother, my uncle, my spirit guide, my father, and a host of other beings behind my mother, my uncle. So it was like my mother, my uncle, a big huge group of beings behind them. Then it was my spirit guide, who was kind of hovering like this, you know, because it was a being, it wasn't female or male. And then off in the distance was my father, who was hesitant to come forward because we kind of, you know, we have some had some unresolved issues, and I don't know if he still considers them as being unresolved, but I'm cool with him now. We had the best conversation, the best chat. It was so cool. They were healthy, they were happy, they were joking, because they love to joke and smile. And they were like, they said, "We're so glad you came. We're so happy to see you. Don't sweat the small stuff. Remember, you're a spirit being having a human experience." They was like, "It's not that serious. It really isn't." And they played with me. I don't know, we were playing some games. They were my uncle gave me a message from my aunt. Then they were playing, they kept moving me and my aunt from the dome back to my bedroom, like we were asleep in my bedroom. Then it'll bounce me back to the dome and back to my bedroom. And I was like, y'all play too much. Y'all need to quit playing, because this is what I was seeing. Like, I mean, literally seeing and feeling this as if I was back home in my bed, back to the dome, back and forth. And this went on and on. Now, mind you, I'm going to stop it here about all that. And I'm going to move to what happened afterwards. Because I'm a very sensitive person. I'm an empath. I carried the energy with me and was consciously aware of it processing and working in my body until the next Thursday. This was a Saturday that this happened. Next Thursday, I was still in the medicine. I had many dreams. I had conversations with spirits. I had insights that happened. I'm telling you, it was all amazing, and it was so worth it. The healing that I got was a healing I would have never gotten because I did not understand to what level my soul was aching. And you know, this stuff ain't no joke. It is absolutely the best medicine. And I'm an herbal person. I do take herbs for medicinal reasons. I try to avoid taking Western or traditional medicine as much as possible. If I can find an herb that heals me, then I'll take the herb. This is the absolute best thing because it heals you physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. All those areas, I promise you. It's not going to give you what you want. It's going to give you what you need. So the most pressing thing for me at that time was to heal and to understand my relationship with my mom and understand and process that energy. You know, I forgot to tell you this part. I wound up channeling the energy and actually being able to share with people what their life path was, who they were in their past life, and things like that, which was just totally like far out. It was crazy. It was very interesting. And I did receive confirmation from some people that they had been told that by someone else, or they had had their own insight, and they actually confirmed what I was saying the next day to be true. That was wild. So know that when you do your Aya journey, number one, she will call you if you're supposed to do it. If you have that urge to go, look, you get there, you do it, be open to it, and be okay with it. Okay? The next thing, expectations, throw them out the window, because everybody's journey is different. You're going to get exactly what you need and only what you need. Okay? You're going to get what you need. I've heard that or read that people who don't set intentions are the ones who usually see the light shows and the colorful, pretty things. I don't know how true that is. Surrender. Be open. Don't be ashamed. Don't be afraid. Because as hard as I was crying and just as loud, I mean, I was wailing like a gut wrenching, it was so freaking loud. I was probably echoing in the desert. I was concerned about everybody else. Like, oh my God, you know, I'm thinking this while I'm crying, like, oh my God, I'm probably ruining other people's experience. But know that everyone that is there agreed to be there before they even got here on earth. This was planned before, okay? So this experience that you're having, it's okay. And don't worry about, you know, being ashamed to cry or whatever else, because you'll hear a lot of people crying. You will see a lot of purging, throwing up. people going to the bathroom, not on themselves, but going to use the bathroom, because it's going to come out. It's going to work on you physically, mentally, emotionally. It's going to get you. The other thing you should know, there's a video on YouTube about what ayahuasca does to the brain, and it's very important that you watch this. It opens up new pathways and disassociates emotions and traumas, you know, like, so let's say you had a bad experience and it lived right here, right? And over here was like the little transmitter that was like, here's the pain, right? No, here's the experience. And the neurotransmitter knows, well, if you this pain, I'm going to send this signal over here, is associated to this experience. So you have the pain transmitter and the experience over here. What it does, it breaks that pathway and creates new pathways, so that when you remember this experience, that it is no longer like overwhelming and traumatic and painful and hurtful to you, because Aya helps to heal you. Now, know that this stuff happens in layers. This is not a one-hit quitter, one shot, and you like, boom, I'm ready for the rest of my life. No. Your life is in layers. Your pain is in layers. Your experiences are in layers. So it's like peeling back an onion and getting rid of and addressing these layers, these experiences, one at a time, or however, you know, many things that you need to address. I would just say that if this is something that you're considering to do, research it. Make sure you have a great facilitator. Make sure you understand what you're doing and why you're doing it. Is not something like, woo, I'm gonna go get high. Yeah, dude. No, you don't do that, because it's not something that you want to experience. When you get finished throwing up, and wait, when you first taste it, that's the first thing. You know, you have to really want to do this, because this is not a taste that you're gonna be like, ooh, yeah. No, it is So this is the greatest path to healing I've ever seen in my life, and it happens quickly. So I'm going to cut it off there, and I'll be posting another video about my second and third ayahuasca experiences. But I'm going to do those two together, because I had those experiences back to back. So happy journey, and if you have any questions, please post below. You have any comments, please post below, and I will get back to you. All right, take care.